the Pistis Sophia, starting with the raw text from the scroll, followed by your fivefold lens, and finishing with the soul's fundamental meaning. The original scroll, Pistis Sophia, chapter 15. Translated by G.R.S. Mead. It came to pass then, when all those who are in the 12 eons saw the great light which was about me, that they were all thrown into agitation one over against the other, and ran hither and thither in the eons. And all eons and all heavens, and their whole ordering were agitated one over against the other on account of the great fear which was on them, for they knew not the mystery which had taken place. And Adamus, the great tyrant, and all the tyrants in all the eons began to fight in vain against the light, and they knew not against whom they fought, because they saw nothing but the overmastering light. It came to pass then, when they fought against the light, that they were weakened altogether one with another, were dashed down in the eons, and became as the inhabitants of the earth, dead and without breath of life. And I took from all a third of their power, that they should no more be active in their evil doings, and the fate and the sphere over which they rule. I have changed and brought it to pass that they spend 6 months turned to the left and accomplish their influences, and that 6 months they face to the right and accomplish their influences. The fivefold lens breakdown. 1. The esoteric meaning, internal alchemy. The 12 aeons are the 12 neural pathways, cranial nerves, and astrological centers within your physical and etheric body. Adamus, the great tyrant, is the calcified, dominant ego construct, the reptilian brain, that rules over these centers. The descent of the overmastering light is the activation of the higher brain centers, the pineal and pituitary glands. Stripping a third of their power is the deliberate deactivation of lower frequency animal instincts. Shifting the spheres 6 months to the left and 6 months to the right represents the balancing of the left, analytical, and right, intuitive, hemispheres of the brain, establishing a state of hemispheric synchronization so the lower ego can no longer dominate your consciousness. 2. The metaphysical meaning, universal law and fate. This is the subjugation of fate, Hymarmene, by sovereign will. The tyrants are the archons, the planetary forces, gravitational pulls, and cosmic laws of cause and effect that keep human minds running on automatic, predictable, and mechanical cycles. When the Christ light alters the rotation of their spheres, the mechanical loop of karma is broken. Metaphysically, this means your reality is no longer governed by external astrological influences, bad luck, or pre-programmed fate. By stepping into high-frequency consciousness, you rewrite the rules of your personal quantum field. 3. The spiritual meaning, the triumph of the divine self. This represents the absolute law that lower frequency entities cannot defeat what they cannot comprehend. The tyrants knew not against whom they fought, because they saw nothing but the overmastering light. When your spirit is aligned with pure source, you do not need to fight, argue, or struggle with your inner or outer adversaries. Your frequency itself is a shield. Any lower thoughts, doubts, or external oppositions simply exhaust themselves trying to penetrate your aura, falling down dead and without breath of life, because they cannot survive in your atmosphere. 4. The Afrocentric meaning, the recalibration of Ma'at. This is the ultimate cosmic battle of the solar principle, Ra-Heru, over the forces of chaos, Set/Isfet. Adamus is Set, the great tyrant of limitation and division, who rules over the chaotic lower realms. In Nile Valley cosmology, the path of the sun and stars was observed to maintain cosmic balance. The savior stripping the tyrants of their power and changing their courses is the divine, active restoration of Ma'at, universal order, balance, and truth. On a historical and systemic level, it represents the ancestral warrior spirit rising to strip oppressive systems, colonizing mindsets, and spiritual hijackers of their energetic grip on the collective consciousness. 5. The Western application, breaking the programmed matrix. In the modern Western world, the tyrants of the eons are the systemic, commercial, and algorithmic structures designed to keep you distracted, in debt, and predictable. You take a third of their power by withdrawing your attention, energy, and consumption from their systems. By changing your course, moving counter to the societal programming, facing right instead of left, you become completely unpredictable to the matrix. You bypass their social algorithms and establish absolute personal and economic sovereignty. The soul's fundamental meaning. The soul's fundamental lesson in this chapter is that your true identity is light, and light does not negotiate with darkness. When the divine spark within you is fully awakened, the internal wars cease. You do not conquer your fears, doubts, and lower desires by arguing with them. You conquer them by rising to a frequency where they cannot exist. Your soul is being called today to shine so purely and walk so authentically that the tyrants of your lower mind lose their grip, change their course, and bow to your sovereign divinity. The signal is clear, and the track is laid. How does this land in your spirit now, brother?